Look, it's literally called the Steam Box Pushing Fest. There are plenty of games that are like this, and they're surprisingly fun. Wait, those aren't boxes. Those are monsters you kill. Is Steam just lying to me?
I think he pushed a box or something, maybe.
Nope. It was the frickin' Ouya, if I remember correctly.
What?
Yeah.
The Ouya?
The Ouya.
Welcome to Off the Console, the hottest podcast where we talk about cool nerd stuff like video games, movies, and much more. And I'm High Tech Lowlife, and I'm joined by by my two co-hosts today, Gardner Bryant and Games Revealed. How have you guys been?
Good, man. It's good to be here.
Vibing in the worst way possible, but vibing.
Oh. Tell us all about it, James. What have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing this week? I have been vibe coding a little bit, which is, I know, very off-putting for a lot of people, but vibe coding is like a new trend, which is stupid, but it's essentially just using AI to write code. But
like,
sorry, you didn't...
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to wait for you to finish and then judge.
Well, here's the thing. I've been a project I've been an engineering manager multiple times. Right now, I'm technically one. And I've had to write docs and had to coordinate with multiple engineers to write software. It's kind of the same thing. I'm doing PR reviews on this stuff and all that. Like, I'm not one of those untrained code monkeys, but I am using it to write stuff that I'm tired of rewriting it all the time. Like, there's a lot of UI that I use that I'm just tired of writing stuff for. And so it is fun. It is fun to just have something kind of up, and I can take care of the nitty gritty or like the more difficult stuff. So I've been having fun with that. People will see the Games Revealed website when it gets finished. They'll see part of it has been vibe coded, but another part of it has also been thorough. It's not like I told it to think for me. I did a lot of the features myself.
Well, that's good. That's good, I guess. How has the vibe code been coming out?
I use a couple of different IDEs. One of them is called Cursor, and so you can just tell it like, okay, I want this, and this, and then I'll go in and hook stuff up, and I have it, and you have prompts set, so like, hey, use these types of, like, it really does come down to, like, if you don't fully know what you're doing, you can end up with a mess, but if you can guide it like a little junior engineer, you can get a lot of stuff done.
So
it's
like
fun.
almost like node-based coding, like you have like different nodes of like conditions and stuff you want.
Yeah,
like
kind of like that. Yeah,
I mean,
I have a rule set.
That's not the worst thing I've heard.
No, but it is causing a lot of issues within the tech world of a lot of junior engineers not being able to get jobs partially because of this. But I don't know what to tell you. Like, I either get with the times or you get left behind, and I'm kind of just getting with the times with this one.
That's understandable.
I feel like the enemy of the people with this and with iOS, but you know.
Well, I've heard worse from people that use Windows. How about you, Gardner?
I've been doing traditional coding because I'm going to be left in the past.
You're not. You're going to do just fine. You're well established. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean, I work for myself, and most of the people that I've talked to are like, "Tell me about this AI stuff," and I'm like, "It's bullshit," and they're like, "Oh, I get it. Okay." But I'm prejudiced. No, I've been working on a present for Emily, and I can't tell you what it is exactly.
What?
But I'm coding something for her birthday. Nice. Specifically for her birthday party.
What?
And,
shit.
It's actually kind of neat, and I am kind of excited to show everybody what I got when it's done. So, yeah, it's like, I'll give you a hint. It's a party game.
Oh, no, you're making Mario Party, but like...
No, not Mario Party. Think modern, like a very modern party game.
Mario Party Jamboree?
No, not Mario Party.
No, Fall Guys.
Nope, not like, it's not like Fall Guys either. It's much simpler than that. But it's gonna be exciting, and I'm gonna show it off on my channel when it's done. and I'm gonna debut it at Emily's birthday party next Saturday. So I'm kind of in a rush to get everything done.
Sick.
Yeah.
Should we censor this part?
No, I haven't said what it is, so
True that.
we're good.
As for me, I have been playing a little bit of Starbound, getting back into it. But the real news is that I got a Legion Go S to review, and I'm working on the review for that. Oh shit, you got one too.
I got one too, my guy.
Nice.
Have you installed Linux on it yet?
No, I haven't. I've been very busy.
I haven't either. I've just been testing it as is with Windows. Honestly,
I installed Windows on it, and Windows like prompted me to like do Game Pass, and I was like, whatever, let's try it. I hate it. It's so broken. Game Pass,
like the UI, right?
Everything about like, dude. Okay, so I went and tried to download Gears of War, like the Ultimate Windows 10 edition or whatever it's called, because that's one of my favorite games for the Xbox. And it got about 85% of the way downloaded, and then it said like some hexadecimal error code, and it was like can't continue because a Windows component is no longer installed. And I was like, what? I didn't uninstall or install anything.
What?
It just randomly stopped working, and I searched for it online, that error code, and it was just like, yeah, this is just a common thing with Xbox, like the Xbox app.
So like you just can't play it at all?
Yeah. So I had to like
weird.
I had to uninstall the game before it was even installed, which drove me crazy. And then I tried to install it again, and it didn't even continue past 0%. So I can't install that game.
Huh.
Yeah,
I've never had an issue with
weird.
it. I haven't tried Gears either.
Well, yeah, I haven't tried Game Pass on it yet. I've been trying out some other stuff. But I've been playing the Halo Master Chief Collection on it. I'm surprised at how it runs. I mean, I can run it at maybe it's just because it's Halo, but I've been running at 1200p. Like, and I can hit like with enhanced graphics. I can hit like the 90s. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it'd be a lot weaker than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no ROG Ally X or anything in terms of performance, but I mean, it's pretty cool. But I do have some reservations, as I'll explain in my full review on my channel. Be sure to like and subscribe to all of us, and also Off the Console. But another funny thing happened this week. Lenovo accidentally sent me like a $3,000 laptop.
Oh yeah.
With a 50, like it has a 5080 and whatever the highest end Intel CPU is right now, and it's pretty fucking cool, dude. I think I'm gonna edit this this episode on that laptop and see how it compares.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll do much better, probably.
Probably, man.
In the sense editing.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm so jealous of your guys' devices. I slept on it. I was too busy vibe coding and just hallucinating to where I did not contact them.
Oh man.
It is what it is, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, so, man,
I'm excited to see your guys' reviews.
It's gonna be pretty cool, man. I'm wondering if I should do the battery test now, or wait for the SteamOS version to come out and then do like a head-to-head Windows versus SteamOS.
You still could do it now, record it, and then do it. Swap over to the SteamOS and try it then.
That would
might as well get it. Yeah, and
that would be kind of sick.
Review. Yeah.
Yeah, I just need to find the time to do it, because the way I do it, I just take a spare like iPhone that I have lying around, and then record for like 12 hours straight at a screen, and then count frame by frame. I don't know. It's a crazy process. I don't think most people do. I think most people just like take the power drain and then calculate it. But like, I don't know, man. I think it'd be easier if I just pointed the camera at it and then just timed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like doing the way you're doing it makes a lot of sense, though. There's just pros and cons for both ways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, man, it is what it is. I would like to try out the battery at some point, though, because it has a 55 watt-hour battery, I believe, which I guess is technically more than the Steam Deck OLED and OG Ally X. But I am curious as to how it shakes out in the end with, Windows and all that stuff. But I guess it's time to talk about our main topics of the day. The first topic of which is the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order situation, because let's just say a lot of people have been trying to get the Switch 2, and not many of them seem to be having pre-orders that stick. So GameStop. So you can order it from Walmart, GameStop, Target, and all that stuff, but people that ordered from Target have been getting a lot, and I really do mean a lot, of cancellations. At least that's what Twitter tells me.
I would not trust Twitter, but...
I wouldn't either. But, I can't argue with a picture of someone's order being canceled.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I've been trying to get a pre-order for the Switch 2. I know it's sacrilegious. But, I personally couldn't get one, but a couple people I know have. My brother's been trying to get one too, to be honest, and we haven't had much luck. What about you guys? I'm guessing you guys aren't pre-ordering, correct?
I have not tried. Once again, I vibe coded past that.
Dude, you should have vibe coded.
I want to do a little bit of a correction. I still am coding a lot. I'm just having a little bit of fun with it.
Should have vibe coded a bot that'll get you a single pre-order.
I could have. If I wanted to. That doesn't sound very fun, though.
It doesn't. But it could be very useful. In case you ever wanted to pre-order something, like a RTX 6090.
And then resell it.
No, I wasn't saying reselling it. I was saying...
my villain arc. I'm going down my villain arc.
God damn it. I know Gardner... I definitely know Gardner hasn't pre-ordered one. And for good reason, too.
Yeah. If I didn't already hate Nintendo, I also hate pre-orders. So, yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't have got it either way.
Yeah, so there have been some accusations, though, that GameStop has been forcing people to, you can't, pre-order the device by itself. You have to pre-order the device along with a bunch of different accessories, too, when you go in store to pre-order. Supposedly, they're investigating that situation. And if you want to know how crazy this pre-order situation was, there was a lottery in Japan for pre-ordering the Switch 2 with 2.2 million applications in Japan alone. And Nintendo couldn't possibly hope to deliver on that 2.2 million in Japan alone situation. It's way beyond expectations, says the founder of the Kantan Games Consultancy. It's also, the worst possible time to release a console. And I almost feel bad for Nintendo about this, because, the tariffs and all that shit.
Yeah, the last generation, PS5 and Xbox Series launched during the pandemic, right? And that was also pretty bad for them. I'm curious how Nintendo's going to weather this. I know that there's a lot of demand for the Switch too, but I'm wondering if there's going to be first party sales of games that are gonna, buoy this new console or not, because Nintendo kind of lives and dies on their first party content.
Absolutely. It's a difficult situation to ascertain right now. Supposedly, they're producing a lot in Vietnam, and all of those are going over to the US because currently there's no tariff on Vietnamese goods, of which the Switch 2 is, apparently. But the Switch... But, I don't know, man. The hold on the, global... Remember, a few weeks ago, Trump was talking about how there were multiple global tariff, on just about every country out there? That was... And how he, decided to delay it for 90 days. What's going to happen when those 90 days are up? That's what I'm concerned about, because is he going to just delay it again, or is he just going to let it slide and all of a sudden you have to pay 45% more on Vietnamese goods like the Switch 2?
It's, I think, starting May 2nd and June 1st, you're going to be seeing huge increases. So if it doesn't get, I don't foresee it happening, but you never know.
Yeah.
I think he's going to chicken out and just pull it because it's a disaster right now.
Dude, this podcast has been getting increasingly political as the week goes.
But here's the thing, like, this affects everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you don't want to be political, that's fine. But like, do you want to pay $1,000 for a Switch 2?
Hell no.
That's like, got to talk about this.
Yeah. Philip DeFranco says, if you don't fuck with politics, politics will fuck with you.
I think
That's a good quote.
Yeah.
That is a good quote, and that's true. It will fuck with you.
Yeah, I mean, that said, GameStop has been actually doing pretty good. What they've been doing is they've been canceling duplicate and bot orders, trying to open up space for those that actually want to pre-order a Switch 2, which I think is pretty good. It's a rare GameStop W.
Mm.
If their site works, holy crap, they must be getting botted, because I originally got like a Cloudflare error. It almost was like they're maybe getting doxxed or something like that, but
it's certainly, I mean, it's working for me right now.
It's working now, but like a second ago, I sent an image in Discord, like it was broken, and I refreshed it for a little bit. And it's still kind of broken. Like, some images are kind of broken. Some text isn't going through all the way.
Wait, what the fuck is this?
It's
Nintendo Sound Clock? Alarmo? What is this?
You didn't know.
You haven't heard of Alarmo?
No. What is this?
Oh god, it's a gimmick alarm clock.
Yeah,
Oh,
but my kids, I think, would have loved it.
Oh.
I just didn't get it for them.
it's $100.
It's.
What the fuck?
Don't you want to wake up next to Mario?
No,
Oh my god.
I don't want to wake up next to Mario. Not for
Okay.
$100.
Just waking up to the Mario Galaxy like intro.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Dude,
You can do that with your phone,
that
man.
would be super loud. Dude, Nintendo Alarmo for $100 is insane. What?
Yeah.
I would have expected like $30. I probably would have gotten it for like $30. It's probably more expensive than your average like alarm clock, but still. But I mean, GameStop's doing okay. They have. Wait, this is a Nintendo Switch dock? Oh, it is a Switch dock.
Hmm.
I don't know, but lots of accessories. I think, given my status as the Steam Deck accessory guy, I'm probably going to be exploring a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 accessories if I can get my hands on a Switch 2. I mean, I think it's just a matter of when, to be honest.
That's why I just don't want to sweat it. Like, I'm gonna wait probably a couple months to up to a year, and then I'll probably end up getting a Switch too. I have such a big backlog already. I'm not gonna sweat it, and then I just don't want the stress.
Yeah, that's totally valid, man. I don't want the stress either. It's not worth stressing over like trying to find a video game and also there's a good chance that you're not going to be able to find one this year if you haven't pre-ordered. But just don't buy to the scalpers, man. Scalpers suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have to worry about that. I held off on the Steam Deck. I didn't buy from the scalpers then. I'm not gonna do it for Switch 2.
Yeah, I didn't do it for the Steam Deck either. So yeah, I mean, Switch 2. It's gonna be huge. It already is kind of huge given how it's like crashing entire websites and stuff.
I feel like anything that's big that comes out anymore kind of does that. They just don't. I don't know what it is. They're just not prepared for the. I just feel like it shouldn't be that hard to ramp up servers. So I don't know how their servers are set up.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, though, this isn't like a daily occurrence. This is probably once every couple of years that this happens.
But that's if you set up your infrastructure properly, you can easily account for large spikes. It just depends on how their infrastructure is.
Yeah, well,
I assume since it's GameStop, they should have a pretty robust infrastructure so they could ramp it up when there's spikes. But
that costs money, and they don't want to spend money.
Well,
everyone's cutting costs these days, dude.
I know, but like you don't pay for it for the whole time. How infrastructure works nowadays is that you can ramp up when you know you're going to expect a spike, and then ramp it down afterwards. Like, or you could just do it self. There's also self. What is it called? it can do it itself too. Like it can just like detect, oh, there's it's overburdened network. We're just gonna add some more clusters, depending on how they're serving it, but they're just not prepared.
So GameStop sells their own express micro SD cards, like, you know, the kind that's supposed to work on the Switch too. So let's just take this as the base price, $100 for a 512 gigabyte card. Let's see if we can find one cheap. Let's see if we can find a cheaper one on like Amazon or something. Let's see, micro SD card express. Okay, don't buy Lexar. I need to rant about this. I bought a Lexar Play for the Steam Deck, and it was the worst SD card I've ever used in it. Because it got stuck in there multiple times. I had to use my fingers to pry it out. And then it overheated too, which is something I never expected. And that caused it to throttle and like get even slower. It's insane. Yeah, I wouldn't trust Lexar, to be honest.
I have two, and I haven't had too many issues. But yeah, they do get stuck in the Steam Deck. Other devices they don't. But SanDisk is like, I think, a pretty solid one. The SanDisk Extreme or Samsung. Samsung's my preferred brand if you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any Samsung micro SD Expresses yet.
I don't either.
I barely see any SD Expresses. Period. Heck,
That will change.
SanDisk isn't even making a 512 gigabyte version yet.
Oh yeah,
it will change. Like.
Yeah.
I think the Steam Deck brought in a lot more demand for NVMe drives that support it, like 2240s. It took like a year or two, but now that you can get so many, like you can just get so many good priced NVMe drives to upgrade the Steam Deck. It's crazy, but it took a year or two. I think it's going to take a few months to a few years for this to ramp up to like getting good terabyte drives at a good price.
Yeah, I mean, if the math's out, then this is probably going to be the best value for now. Because I mean, I looked at that SanDisk one. The SanDisk one is like half the capacity for like $60, and if they make a 512 at that price, then I mean it's going to be more expensive than the GameStop one. I don't know, man. I do. This is going to sound controversial, but I do like what the Switch 2 did with making these mandatory, because now we're going to get a lot more of these, and hopefully the Steam Deck 2 will make these mandatory as well. I think it's a huge benefit. I don't know what you guys think about the whole micro SD situation.
I mean, I want micro SD cards to be faster, so I like that Nintendo's pushing that for sure.
Yeah. I definitely we need better better pushes, more pushing from these companies to have faster SD cards, because they've been a little stagnant for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been on GameStop's website in like quite some time, and I didn't know they sold non-video game stuff like
Magic the Gathering.
I mean,
you go into their stores, they have Magic the Gathering, a ton of it, which is.
I mean, that's not the most tangential thing. I mean, it's a game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What really made me upset was they bought my favorite website, and they bought thinkgeek.com. And then they took everything that ThinkGeek. They took ThinkGeek offline, and then they started selling like ThinkGeek adjacent products in their stores. A lot of it's like gaming adjacent stuff, like. But it's just so awful. I
agree. I really wish they would have just kept it up, kept letting it run the way it did, and then just use some of the product on their side.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it seemed like a very stupid move on their part.
Well, GameStop isn't run by intelligent folks. They've proved that.
Yeah, man. If not for that stupid like stock fiasco that happened like a couple years ago, they'd probably be out of business by now.
Yeah.
Going to the moon saved him.
All right, but I'm done with the Switch 2 for now until it comes out. Let's talk about a game that came out the other day. Oblivion Remastered. So, this actually leaked a couple of days before release, and I think we had a podcast on those days, so that's why we didn't talk about the leaks. But it's out, and people love it. Lots of people love it. And is shadow dropping the new way of marketing?
I'm wondering if for remasters it is, because they're like, well, people already like this. We'll just drop it. It will probably be promoted in the app stores enough. And it's remaster. It's not like it's a remake. It's not like it's... It definitely does look impressive. I'll say that. Like, I just haven't played it yet. It looks like it... I never beat it. I think I might pick it up. But I've heard some bad things on the Steam Deck, but I've also heard good things. So it's kind of a weird.
It is unusual because so the way they did the remaster, they did it the same way Ninja Gaiden 2 Black did the remaster, in which it's essentially running two engines. It's running the original engine, and then it's getting translated over to UE5, Unreal Engine 5, and like, is that just how games are going to be now? They're just translating whatever to UE5 with the original engine too. It's like running two engines at the same time.
If you've ever worked in an archaic engine or archaic code, it fucking sucks. I'm telling you from the other side. Like, Unreal is... I know that there's some issues with Unreal and games looking similar, but it is so much easier to work with than some of these systems. And especially the Bethesda and the Red engine, like actually multiple of these companies, their own engines tend to just be, they have so many quirks, so many issues that it's easier just to go with something that's mainstream, that's fixed most of the problems, and not reinventing the wheel all the time. So I get it. I get why they're doing this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It does suck in some ways to kind of go from homebrewed engines, which are like, I do like that companies own these engines, because then it has their own like flair, their own like style to it. Like, are we going to move over to Unreal for all the new Elder Scrolls? I mean, we're going to miss out on chairs falling through the floor, things kind of just, being weird and quirky. We'll see.
I think that's still there's still plenty of that in this remaster, given that it's still basically running under with Gamebryo.
Some of those same artifacts are probably still going to be there. It is interesting, because then if they have like games I should dive into this. I didn't know that they were doing this type of play on the engines. I really want to see how they're going about doing this.
Yeah, there's another game that actually did this as well, earlier, that released this year. It was also a Shadow Drop as well. A Shadow Drop remaster as well. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. So it's still running its like original engine for the gameplay and everything, but the graphics are being done in UE5.
That... I want to see how they're doing this, because it is interesting to see it that way. It's not quite...
I mean, the big question now is, could just some random person do this? Could they just somehow hook up like an old retro, like, I don't want to say retro game, but like an older PC game, and hook it up to like a UE5 process and just kind of like do it remaster it that way? Like, let's think of an older game. Let's think of like, I got a good one. Let's look at Deus Ex. Where's the original Deus Ex?
Oh, the original, like
the really old
release,
one. Yes.
Where
the fuck is dude? Where is it?
It's in there.
Deus Ex Collection. We've got Game of the Year. Game of the Year edition.
Yeah.
What if someone just like hooked this up to UE5 and then remastered it that way and kept everything the same?
I want to know how they're doing the compatibility layer or whatever they're doing. It seems very weird, but upgrading those textures would be a big plus.
I mean, and then Tecmo Koei did it, and then who else did it? Bethesda did, of course. Yeah. The question is, who's helping them with this? Though probably Microsoft, because I know Ninja Gaiden 2 Black was shown off at an Xbox event.
I bet you Unreal is. Like
Epic?
they have every Epic, that is. They have every benefit of helping with these, like, meaning to get the engines into Unreal or with the remasters.
Do you think Epic would help some random modder with this process, though?
They do have grants. I don't know about for modders, but what are you talking about modder? Like,
When I say modders, I mean like people that want to take, let's say, Deus Ex, the original, and just fan remaster it in UE5 without having to actually like program everything from scratch.
NVIDIA might, because NVIDIA is doing that with Half-Life 2 RTX.
That's true.
I think there's a lot of IP consideration that Epic would fret over. So, and probably even NVIDIA would, but Valve being Valve.
Who owns Deus Ex IP?
Well, I think right now it's owned by Embracer, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Square Enix bought Eidos, or how do you pronounce? Is it Eidos or something like that? I don't know. They bought Eidos or whatever, and which gave them access to Tomb Raider and Deus Ex and like a bunch of other stuff. Oh, and Hitman as well. And they sold that company over to Embracer, and guess what Embracer did? They canceled Deus Ex, the third one with Adam Jenkins or Jensen.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that. Deus Ex is one of my favorite series.
Yeah, because I've played both. I haven't played Invisible War. I think that's the only one I haven't played.
I haven't all of them. I love it.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know, man. This is I mean, if someone were to open source some sort of weird compatibility, no, you wouldn't be able to open source it because like multiple game engines are different.
Yeah, you couldn't open source it per se. Like on the Epic side, it is limited open source technically. It's not. It's really
source available.
It's source available. That's the right term.
Yeah.
But these engines on the other, like from these other companies, are not.
Yeah. And for those wondering, there were some concerns about this because Sky Oblivion's a thing. If you guys know what that is.
Yeah, it's like the fan remake of Oblivion and Skyrim engine.
Yeah, so some people were concerned that this would either A, kill off that project, or B, Bethesda would take it down. But no, they did something really cool. They gifted the entire Sky Oblivion team copies of Oblivion Remastered.
Yeah.
Gifted them like so they could play it, or gifted the source code?
No, like gifted them like keys to play the game.
Yeah. That's about that. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
that's good. It's a good start.
Yeah.
I want modders to be treated better like this because it helps grow your company to treat modders well.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's goodwill for the community, right? Has Bethesda ever done anything like Rockstar Take-Two, where they like there's a fan community like developing an open source thing and they like kill them?
Well, no.
I feel like I read something about that with Bethesda, because this surprised me when they didn't completely cease and desist the Sky Oblivion team.
Well, no, I don't think there was any cases like that for Bethesda. No, I think because I know what I know is that there's a Morrowind reimplementation, the one that came before Oblivion. There's a reimplementation of Morrowind, and that's still up.
Is that called Xenius?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. OpenMW?
Yeah, it's OpenMW.
Zorios, something like that.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I interviewed the guy that was doing the OpenMW.
Oh, we should bring him on the podcast.
Yeah, that was literally like the first couple of months of my channel. That was 10 years ago.
Man, that was crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sky Oblivion, it's still going to be a thing. I wonder how much... The big question now is Oblivion Remastered going to be the new game that they just remaster every, like, few years? Re-release every few years? Is it the new Skyrim?
I think they're just going to be doing it to every one of them. I'm surprised. Have they done that to Morrowind yet? I'm surprised they haven't. If they
No, they haven't done a Morrowind yet. That's because Morrowind's kind of a weird. It's a weird one because a lot of people probably would not jive with the fact that like melee attacks are dice rolls. Like you can stab like a rat and it'll miss because you failed the dice roll, and I don't think people will jive with that.
But there's so many fun quirks in Morrowind, because you can learn, like, you could, if you jump enough, you can essentially be like jump like hundreds of feet from understanding, if I remember correctly from my youth.
Yeah, you can do that with Oblivion too, I think.
Can you?
Well, I don't know if you can jump hundreds of feet. I think
no,
that's
you can train yourself to just essentially just get your stats out of control. That's just part of the game.
Yeah. But anyways, so Oblivion Remastered is also technically Steam Deck verified, and I think you wanted to talk about this.
Me? Yes. It is. It just a little bit. It is. So I've read multiple forums on this. Like some people say it's running great. It runs at like 60 frames and all that. They must really have like their settings turned down, because then there's other people that say it drops especially once you get later into the game, which makes sense. If more assets pile up, let's say if you have more on your body, the more maybe hoarding you do of stuff, like assets can tank the frame rate on a lot of games. But it definitely sounds like it's a mixed bag.
I wonder if killing everyone in town will raise the FPS.
There's one simple trick. Like, it sounds like you need to make a guide for this. How to make it run well in the Steam Deck. Just kill everyone in town.
Dude, that's what they did with Dragon's Dogma 2. If you guys remember that game came out, people were saying kill all the NPCs and the game runs better.
Or you just get Cyberpunk where they don't spawn any NPCs and it runs better.
That is true. You can do that. That'd be kind of stupid, but you could do that.
Get the mod that's just like, hey, do you want an empty world? There's no enemies or any NPCs, but it runs great.
Dude.
That'd be a fun like April Fool's mod to do for games.
It's not too late. You can do it next year.
Do that to like Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, the game that runs on everything.
Yeah.
Dude, I actually haven't played Stardew Valley before.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I think the last game I played that was like Stardew Valley adjacent was like Harvest Moon for the Game Boy Advance.
Harvest Moon's such a fun game.
Yeah, and then my brother and I would always romance the store owner, Karen or whatever, the blonde one. It was really funny. And then like, let's see what else. Let's see, and Horse Armor is $10, but also comes with the soundtrack and also an art book. What do you guys think about Horse Armor being $10?
They still have they didn't include the horse armor. You still have to buy the DLC for it.
Yes. So the game is $50, but the deluxe remaster is an additional $10 on top of that.
What? Well, okay, but okay.
So like it's $60 for the full game.
What else does
horse armor?
That's including the horse armor. Okay, that's a little better.
Yeah. So the horse armor is not separate though. So here's what you get. You get new quests. You also get the digital art book and soundtrack. Wait, soundtrack app? What? You don't just get a bunch of MP3s or FLACs or whatever. You just have to download an app to listen to the soundtrack. That's bullshit.
I'm not. They should have just folded this into the original game. They shouldn't have done this.
I don't know, man.
I know. Like, with these types of games with remasters with Game of the Year editions should include everything and not have different tiers. I fucking hate having different tiers for all these different things. Sometimes I like to wait for a game to be released for a few years and all the DLC and everything to be included. I don't want to be sold different tiers. Yeah. And this is included on that.
Yeah, so I mean, horse armor's $10. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Well, that's what it was. It wasn't that when they released it was what started all the ridiculous DLC was that horse armor that they released for Oblivion was $10, right?
Yeah, I never bought horse armor. Does it actually do anything?
I
don't
thought
know.
it did, but it's a bare minimum cosmetic, but I think it helps protect the horse. I don't know though. You'd expect with $10 it's going to make your horse fly, but
Oh, well, I mean, horse armor was $2.
Oh, was it $2? Okay. Still $2.
Yeah, it's $10 because you're upgrading to the deluxe version, which gives you a bunch of stuff and horse armor.
No,
I'm pretty sure they put it in there as a joke.
yeah,
but
I'm sure they did too. But
it's
attaching
still
money to it,
ridiculous.
Dude, inflation, man, used to be $2. Now it's $10 for horse armor, dude.
Well, remastering the game, I mean, they're already remastering a game that's already existing, so it couldn't cost that like much more. They've already put all the development into it, so just wrap everything up into the $50 price. Like they're still making bank off this.
Yeah.
There are some gameplay changes though. They changed how leveling works in the game so that you don't accidentally level up non-combat skills and all of the enemies like one-shot you.
Then it's a remake. It's not
Yeah,
a remaster.
that's what people are saying. People are saying it's more of a remaster than a remake than a remaster.
Interesting.
I don't know, man. It's a situation.
I have my brother is my tenant in the apartment over here, and so technically we're in the same household. We're on the same internet, so we're sharing a Steam library. And I booted up Steam yesterday and saw that he had bought it, and so I was like, "Well, screw it! I'm going to try it on the Legion Go." And dude, the FSR and frame generation was set to absolute maximum.
What?
And all the other, like, just by default, everything was set to low, and FSR was cranked to the max. And so, like, just that first scene where the king comes into the cell, and the camera like zooms in on the king, it's like this fucking fever dream of like pixelated warpy bullshit. And I was like, what is going on? Why does it look this bad? And I had the camera over my desk recording, and it picked up some of how like just crazy it looked, dude.
Dude, I want to see this.
His face was like here, and then like it was over here, but his face was still here, and it like smeared over. It was so strange, dude.
Dude, I want to see that. You should show us the video at some point.
Yeah, it's gonna be in my thing about the Legion Go S.
Yeah, subscribe to Gardner's channel for that.
Yeah,
but
be fun.
Yeah, Oblivion's an interesting one. It's an interesting one, and the trend of bringing old games forward has not stopped. Because do you guys remember the GOG preservation program?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, it's like, is it like an oath or like it's a program where they preserve old games, and games are brought forward, and they're apparently going to be continuously updated, even if they don't sell the games anymore. I know some games are like that, where they're a part of the preservation program, but you can't actually buy them from GOG anymore. And we're talking about this because they brought over a game that we haven't seen in many, many years. Breath of Fire 4. It's still one of the most popular Capcom games as per Capcom's own polls, but it's an older JRPG from the PS1 era. And I didn't know this, but there was actually a PC port for this, like back in 2003. So they effectively remastered it and brought it forward and made it more compatible with modern systems, because, I mean, it's an older PC port. It probably doesn't run that well on... probably doesn't function that well on PC. And so we're talking about this because Breath of Fire is a series that hasn't gotten an entry since... the last Breath of Fire game was a gacha game released in 2016. But the last actual game came out in 2002. And so I think this is pretty cool that they did this, but what I really want to highlight, though, is the Dreamlist, because this was made possible due to the fact that people voted for this game. Look, see? It even says it right here. 23,000 votes. And so it makes me think that maybe we should just start voting for games we want to come to PC.
Honestly, I'm down for that. I actually would really like for us to start going this way of showcasing this to developer or publishers and developers, that like we want remakes, remasters of games, or ports of them. I think they already have analysts to do this, but obviously they suck because we want good ports and not whatever Blizzard does, which is bad. But
Yep.
I
Right.
like this. I like this trend.
So let's look at the most voted games in this list right here. So the most voted game on this list is Black and White 1.
Oh my
Such a
god,
classic
yes,
game.
dude.
Oh my god, it's right because you want that. Yes.
Next is Freelancer, and I don't think I've heard of this game before. What is it?
Oh yeah.
Is it
It's
like
an old
a
space sim?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
I played
Looks
it a
pretty
little
cool.
bit.
Looks pretty
Does
cool.
GOG even sell Black and White though? I don't think they do.
I don't think they do, but I think getting this on the list will let them sell it or some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't sell it. Dude, Black and White and Black and White 2 are two of my most wanted games for GOG.
Oh
God
yeah.
damn it.
Oh, dude,
I do agree.
Lionhead Studios, they're gone now. That's right. They went bankrupt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't understand how, because they made freaking awesome games. They were the ones behind Fable.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was because of Fable. They were making a Fable game before they got canned, and we haven't seen a Fable game since Fable 3 back in that's almost a decade ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got Black and White, and then Freelancer, and then Silent Hill 2 Classic. Despite the fact that Silent Hill 2 has a pretty good remaster or remake rather, people still want the classic experience too from time to time.
Yeah.
And we got Black and White 2, Silent Hill 1, Command and Conquer the Ultimate Collection. I know Gardner wants to vote for this one right here.
Yeah. I'm going to go actually vote on a bunch of these.
Yeah, No One Lives Forever was a classic one. That was fun. It had a 60 vibe.
Like Austin Powers vibe almost.
Yeah, it was kind of like an Austin Powers video game.
Did
Prey, the original Prey is an interesting one to have on there.
StarCraft, the original, the Dune, Digimon World 1. Was this even on PC?
I don't know.
I don't think it was on PC, because I never remember this on Oh, wait, no. It was. In Korea.
Nice.
It's so weird. That's so weird.
But if you look at let's look at some games that people that clearly don't have PC ports. Like, for example, recently voted Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2. I believe those were Dreamcast games. Oh, people are voting right now. God of War was up here. Was the most recently voted game when we last checked. People are voting hard. Parasite Eve 2, Breath of Fire 3 is 6. That's a lot. I mean, that's not as much as Breath of Fire 4, but still, that's a lot. And they're voting fast, man. Some of these they're going, oh, Nightfire? Wait, Okay, so have you guys played 007 Nightfire?
No.
Yes.
So Gardner, it's a James Bond FPS, and I think it's the best one that they've released. I think it's better than GoldenEye.
Wow, that's fighting words right there.
Yeah, I know. The PC version, however, the actual PC version that was released is not the same as the console version, though. So I'm curious as to how they're gonna do that, because I think the console version was much better. And this was back in the day when, dude, Ocarina of Time. Dude, they're not gonna get Ocarina of Time on GOG. That's crazy. That's crazy that they would even put it on this website. To be honest.
But it still might show Nintendo to maybe think things through when the Switch 2 fails.
When the Switch 2 fails,
it's not gonna fail, but still.
I hope it does.
dude. There are quite a few games on here, though. A lot of games Demon's Souls, that'd be a good one. Parasite Eve 1, that'd be a good one too, actually. Wow, there's a lot of games on
Agreed.
here.
There's a lot of really good games on here.
Let's see. There's one I voted for. Muramasa the Demon Blade. It's the first Vanillaware game I've ever played, and it's really good. And it sucks that it's stuck on the Wii and Vita. There should be a PC version, but Vanillaware hates money, apparently. They hate the PC port. They hate PC. I don't know why. It really pisses me off.
Mm.
But, come on, dude. Ocarina of Time. That's never going to happen.
I didn't think they'd name a console Switch 2, but here we are.
Yeah, that's true. I would have thought they'd name it a Super Switch, or I guess make a VR console that doesn't work with any Switch games, because that's something Nintendo would have done like back in the day.
Yeah, they have Rise of Legends on this list, which I want. I voted for that.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Rise of Legends would be amazing.
They have God of War 3. Look, they have console exclusives too. I can see Sony doing this maybe, like they remaster God of War 1 through 3 and then sell it for like $60. I'd buy it.
Oh, easy.
Easy. Dude, they're linking ROM websites. What the... Dude, you can't do that. That just makes things a lot harder.
That's hilarious. Nah, maybe not, because it's like, hey, see, I'm not paying for this, and if you give it to me, I'll pay for it.
True that. Oh, they have Oni. You ever play Oni before, Gardner?
Yeah. No.
So it's made by Bungie. Like, this is like their pre-Halo days. Or I guess...
Really?
Yeah. It was like... I think it was released the same year Halo was. It's supposed to be like they're like... It's like a riff on like Ghost in the Shell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a third-person like action, like you can shoot. There's also like fighting system, like hand-to-hand combat as well. I need to play
archaic, but it was fun. It was fun. I definitely wouldn't mind getting that.
Yeah, for sure. So
on GOG.
Yeah, GOG. So now we gotta talk about. Do we want to talk about the Steam Box Pushing Festival?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. So. It's a celebration of games about pushing boxes. I don't know how else to describe it, to be honest.
Ready to move some stuff?
Those are boxes.
Look, it's literally called the Steam Box Pushing Fest.
That's fun.
I know.
I wonder if how much thought went into calling it the Steam Box Pushing Fest.
Damn it. But you know, though, there are plenty of games that are like this, and they're surprisingly fun. Wait, those aren't boxes. Those are monsters you kill. Is Steam just lying to me?
I think he pushed a box or something, maybe.
Okay, but that's like saying God of War is a puzzle game because there's puzzles in it.
Sure. I think the whole point is that they just want, anytime you push boxes, that it's... if they didn't put that in there, then there'd probably be, what, a couple dozen?
Dude, that'd be...
They probably want a bigger list.
That is like the most vague, like, qualification for a game you could have. It's a game where you push a box. You know what other games you can push boxes in? Zelda and God of War.
Yeah. Didn't they have that Zelda knockoff in that trailer there?
The one where he was killing guys with a sword and...
I think it was called It'll Do. It's like towards the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
That's basically a Zelda game.
I see it. I can see it.
Do you know where that game started out on? Like what platform?
Was it the Switch?
Nope. It was the frickin' Ouya, if I remember correctly.
What?
Yeah.
The Ouya?
The Ouya. It started out on the Ouya and then it moved over to PC.
Oh my god, you aren't kidding. It says here it was available on PC, Wii U, Ouya, iOS, and Android.
I'm a proud owner of an Ouya.
Have you made a video on it? Mine. Have you made a video on it?
I should, Dan. I don't know why I haven't. I should.
Dude, do it.
It's basically like the predecessor of the Wii.
Dude, call it the Ouya in 2025, and then just see if anything works anymore.
There's a ton that works. You could basically the entire store is free and unlocked now.
Oh,
Yeah, so I
Okay.
should do a video on that.
hold on for a second. Can you hear that in the background?
Vaguely.
Oh my god. Let me close the door real quick. I'll be back.
I should make a New Year video.
It'd be fun. It'd be a fun. When did that come out?
2000.
How's that sound?
Or something.
Oh wow, yeah.
Sounds
Better.
Better.
Awesome. I closed 2 doors. So it's about to get toasty in here, though. I will say. So do you?
2012 is when the Ouya came out.
So do you have any games of this variety that you can recommend to people?
Can you push a box in Half-Life 2? I think you can, or at least you can carry it. Yes, that.
Half-Life 2 is not a box pushing game.
Oh man, I've been seeing like Baba Is You. That's it. Baba Is You.
Oh, that's
one
a
of my
good one.
favorites. Yeah.
It's not on sale though, but yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a top seller. There's one that I know of that's. Wait a second. It's not Helltaker's not listed in here.
What about Chip's Challenge?
Chips
Hey.
Challenge and Chips Challenge 2.
Yeah, dude. Those are from the good old days, elementary school days.
Dude, Helltaker is definitely a box pushing game. Look at this. Tell me this is not a box pushing game.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's free. It's free. Like it's totally free. You can play it. Or you could buy the art book and it comes with a pancake recipe for $10. I don't know, man.
Nice.
This is such a weird. I had to talk about it because it's such a weird festival. Like I didn't talk about the stealth festival because I mean that's pretty obvious, right? Like it's a game like stealth games, but like this.
Was it stealth? Did it pop up stealth-wise? Like they didn't announce it?
God damn it! Why must you be like this?
Did Oblivion end up on that? They needed another stealth one. It's like Oblivion's there.
Why? Because you can play as a
No, because it's a
stealth
stealth
archer.
drop.
stealth archer, stealth
You
dropping.
can also play as a stealth archer, yeah, but it was a stealth drop. It counts.
Let's see. I don't know of many of these games to be honest, and these are all. This is arranged in top sellers lists. Lots of Sokoban knockoffs though, except for this one. Look, Soko Penguin. Look, it's an entire genre called Sokoban. For those who don't know, it's a game about pushing boxes. That's what it's originally called. Look, see? You have to properly push boxes in the right place so that they all end up in a place. Like that.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's that.
Chip's Challenge too.
Those are games like I don't know if I played that one specifically, but that's stuff I'd play on my old Palm Pilot.
I mean, yeah, they're very simple games, but they're pretty fun. Simple games are a lot more fun than people give it credit for. People want more complex games all the time, but like, have you ever had a simple game before? Sometimes it just hits different.
I agree. I played a ton of them back in the day, and so some of them I'm a little tired of.
Yeah,
Tetris. But they're
true
still
that.
fun.
True
They're
that.
still fun. They're still fun.
Have you tried playing Tetris Grandmasters? The Grandmaster Challenge?
Sounds intimidating.
It is. Like, have you seen videos of guys playing Tetris Grandmaster?
No.
Okay, hold on for a sec. Let's see. Let's get to the last, like, section of it. Okay. Damn it, I need to find a good... Oh, 1cc GM. Look, see? This is what it looks like. But it gets even worse. Because then the blocks start turning invisible and you have to do it during the credits. Look, see? Alright, hold on. You have to start doing that in the credits. And then only when you beat the game and don't die during the credits will you be crowned a Tetris Grandmaster. This is what you need to be, James.
I'm good. This is
Are
just
you,
frustrating
though?
me. No, I'm not good. No, I'm not good at it.
I'm not good at Tetris either.
I'm
I'll,
not good either.
I'll choose a different game to be good at.
True that.
Unreal Tournament. That's my game I'm good at.
Oh,
That's where I
dude.
spent all my time.
Yes.
Dude. You know what you should be good at though? Watching movies. Guess what? Guess what this crazy new rule that they implemented is? I'll give you a hint.
It's not.
You have to
crazy.
watch. You have to watch all the movies to be eligible for voting in a category. I find it crazy that this was not already a rule at one point, especially since these like voters. It's not like anyone can just vote. This is like an exclusive list of like trusted voters.
Yeah, it's crazy that 2025 is the year. It's like, okay, you got to actually, consume the movie. It's not like a game. I understand games a little bit. Games are hard. It can be dozens of hours for some games, but for a movie, come on.
Yeah. Like okay, I can understand playing a game and not beating it and like still being able to vote. That's perfectly fine. But like a movie, you gotta be able to vote. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense, man. I mean, not every movie is like a 3-hour long epic movie. Some movies are like an hour and a half, and like it doesn't take much time. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's just mind blowing that this wasn't already a rule. I thought maybe they were just like watching the movies, but like with their eyes closed or like drunk or some shit, and they don't remember the movie that well. But no, they just weren't watching the movie.
Maybe it wasn't a problem until more recently.
I mean, yeah,
So they're like, well,
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense though, because like, and I'm super curious as to why they now implemented this rule. I wonder what changed.
Dude, it's such a corrupt, like, institution. So it doesn't surprise me, and I think they're changing it now because they want like people to start watching it again, and it feels so fake and forced the way that it has been working.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a stupid ceremony for like patting yourself on the back because like everyone in the industry knows each other.
Yeah.
The most entertaining one was when, as we all know, Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock.
Which totally wasn't staged.
I don't know, man.
What's
They banned Will Smith from the Academy for like a decade.
I don't know.
Then that was like and that was when he won his first Oscar. So
well,
like,
and he also, yeah, I mean, I don't think it helped his reputation.
it didn't. Now I don't see Will Smith in anything nowadays, and he was like basically in everything.
Yeah.
Everything from like actually good movies to like schlock like The Suicide Squad.
I think.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. But here's also a timeline of the voting process, which begins in August, and it goes all the way to January. It's a crazy time, man. And I know a lot of people get really pissed off about movies getting like, okay, hold on. It's there's one particular category that's contentious with people. And it's the animated features list. Oscars animated features history. People get really pissed off when... Alright, here, 2010s. So... Let's see. So, I think Boss Baby won one of these. Or some shit. Some, like, big kids movie that's, like, not that great, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just like with the Game Awards. Sometimes people like some games win, some games don't. I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like they should win, but they do.
Oh, Spirited Away won though, and that's a well-deserved win. I think that's like my second favorite Ghibli movie. Do you guys watch?
It is a good one.
Do you guys watch Ghibli movies?
Mm-hmm. They're good.
What about you,
I've
Gardner?
seen one. I don't know what it was.
Can you describe like what you saw? I might be able to help you out.
It was like a castle, and she was like, the main character was like caught up in it, and she was like trying to. I don't know. It felt like Alice in Wonderland, maybe.
Was it like? Was it like a castle in the sky?
I don't remember it being in the sky.
Was it a moving castle?
Maybe.
What does does the main character like turn super old and is like an old lady for most of the film?
No. There was like a gross looking old lady who turned out to be nice. I don't remember. This was like only a couple years ago, and I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Wait, it was wait, so you said it's like Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think you're talking about Spirited Away.
That looks like it. Yeah. That was the main character right there.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
But my personal favorite Ghibli movie is Princess Mononoke. That's a really good one. But it's uncharacteristically violent for a Ghibli movie as well. Because it's not a war movie, but there's a lot of like, it's like a war between like the spirit creatures and also like the industrialists in Japan. It's really good. You should watch it. But yeah, the Oscars are stupid. I don't think anyone watches it. This might bring people back, like you said. But
it brings something back to it because it needs to be. This is a good start, but there's still a lot that needs to be.
It just feels inauthentic and lacking any kind of integrity. So this is a good step towards restoring integrity if they ever had it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
movies just aren't as popular as they used to be. People want to watch 10 hours of prestige television rather than 2 hours of a movie.
True that.
Just don't movies. The biggest problem with movies and why I don't care. I've never really cared about the Oscars, but they keep doing safe bets that I just don't care about. Yeah. And when they do something that's a little bit more out there, like people don't tend to like it as much, or the critics don't. Like Mickey 17 was an amazing movie, I think, but I really like sci-fi. I like the sci-fi kind of comedy aspect of it. It's fun. It's and I just don't feel like they do it as much anymore.
Yeah, the Academy hates the Academy hates sci-fi. That's why Dune didn't win Best Picture. That's why they gave it to I can't remember what the name of that movie was. It was the one with like the Russian like mobs or it's like Russian Pretty Lady almost, if I had to describe it. Also, they added a rule about AI and how AI should be used in a film. It shouldn't hurt, nor should it shouldn't help nor hurt a movie's chance of winning any awards. And they said to also be, quote unquote, taking into account the degree up to which a human was at the heart of the creative authorship when choosing which film to award. When it comes to AI, so
that's good. But they definitely using AI to utilize someone's voice or to take like a voice. Let's say it's animated and kind of stilling voice actors' work is I definitely don't like that. As far as what they'll do in the future with AI characters and as AI generated videos getting better, it's going to be The Simpsons all over again. They're going to bring back old people that will never retire that are just going to be doing the same old movie. They're going to bring back Sean Connery or something. I don't know.
Oh, fuck. You mentioned The Simpsons because, because the cast of The Simpsons is getting pretty old, right? And I was wondering what would happen if, one of them died. Because, each of them voiced, okay, no, but, someone that voices, 20 characters. What if Dan Castellaneta dies? Yeah. Then, it's basically over, right? That's Homer Simpson. And, a bunch of the characters as well.
To be fair, it needs to end, so...
It does. But, what I'm saying is, that's how, I would hate for that to be how it ends, basically. I'd like for them to go
I agree with that. They need to get to whatever they want. I don't even know what season they're on right now, 30-something. They just need to get to, let's say 40 and just be done with it.
Yeah, and then, the other thing, too, is that, the voices are changing too. Like Julie Naver, I think she was the voice of Marge Simpson. She does not sound like, her voice has changed drastically, like over these past couple of years. And it's not a knock against her. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It just it happens.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they haven't like used AI or anything. That's the thing. I don't want The Simpsons to then just become an AI show. I really don't want that. That's dystopian for me.
Yeah, because like that would be horrible if like one of them dies, like Nancy Cartwright dies, and they have to use AI. They have to use AI for Bart and all the like little boy characters, like Bart Simpson and I think she does Millhouse too. There's a really good video from Vox on all the characters they voice. Let me pull it up.
It's crazy how talented they are. And they do voices for other shows too, but yeah.
You know, Dan Castellaneta is also the voice for Earthworm Jim, in case you guys care. Look, he voices 23 characters. That's more characters than some shows have. And he does all of them. And they all sound pretty distinct. Can you guys hear this?
No.
Damn it, is there a way to... Alright, whatever. So, but you can hear all the voices, right? You know what they all sound like.
Oh, yeah.
Look, he does Homer Simpson, Abe Simpson, Krusty the Clown, Barney, Grumpy. Dude, look at all these characters.
Yeah. They're very talented. A lot of the main cast does so many different characters.
Yeah, and if any one of them dies, then that like wipes out like a fifth of the characters in The Simpsons. And they've retired certain characters because of the death of like some voice actors, like Troy McClure. Hold on, I'm trying to remember the actor's name, but he did Troy McClure and that lawyer.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I definitely.
Marcia Wallace died, and they retired Miss Krabappel.
Yep. That is definitely like, but the thing is, if it's, they might be able to get away with one more, but are they going to start replacing with AI? And I want to kind of bring this back into like games too. Is we have even franchises that have been going on for a while. Like some of the main, some of the actors actually that voice people in Half-Life 1 and 2, to just bring back to my stuff, have died since they released those, and so they're going to have to recast, which they've recasted characters before, and I don't think Valve's going to use AI to replace people, but it is a dangerous trend to where we could start seeing AI replacing voice actors, and I just don't know. I'd rather just have them recast, I guess.
Yes, me too.
Especially if it's big budgeted.
Yeah.
I understand. Dude,
imagine if they used Robin Williams' voice for the genie in the Aladdin, right? Like they like, because they were like that is a total possibility. And I don't know if you guys know the story about how like Disney and Robin Williams had a huge falling out because of marketing with his voice and shit. And it's like,
I remember this.
Yeah. So it's just like it just seems so disrespectful to use someone's voice after they've died.
Especially without like consent, or if you're trying to do like just money plays, you know.
Yeah. And to be clear, your family can't give consent. You have to be the one to give consent in my book. Like it's just, it seems so horrible to me.
I mean, it really depends on who your family members are and who's running your estate, basically. I mean, like, big celebrities have estates for stuff like this. Like, big, like Zelda Williams, like, his daughter probably wouldn't stand for it, to be honest.
Right.
But there's going to be other estates or other families that are going to want to profit off that because, you know, they're going to want to make money.
Right. Yeah. I understand that.
That's...
And
might try to improve it.
Like, I mean, I think that it's the definition of like antitrust, right? Like in at least it used to be in this country, like that antitrust meant that you need to stand on your own feet and your own capability, you know, like, and it shouldn't be because your dad or your grandfather made a whole bunch of money. Like you should have to do something to earn your keep.
Yeah.
And so,
Yep.
like, that's the whole reason we have antitrust to begin with. And so it's like, I don't know. It just makes
It
me
doesn't work
crazy to
very
think
well,
that, like,
though. It doesn't work.
no,
very
it doesn't,
well.
but it should. I want it to work a lot better than it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, Disney and some of these companies are just trying their best to try to get, Robin Williams to get,
It's-
they
It's
want
the
that
whole
voice.
reason Disney has invested so much into AI. They want to bring back Walt Disney. For God's sakes.
Fucking
Thought out his
Disney.
brain, put it into an overlord system. That I'm down for that. I'm down for that. If we're gonna go down the dark path of
They're
like
they're gonna pull a Cave Johnson with Walt Disney and put his brain in a robot body.
Love that.
That would be kind of sick, though. To be honest,
That would be kind of sick.
I would invest. I'd invest in it so I could do that before I die.
Hey, at least it's not AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, to be fair, this isn't AI either. Technically, when I think of AI, I think of like all of those like sentient beings, like artificial intelligence, like the
Yeah.
like think of like Skynet or like the robots from the Matrix or RoboCop.
Is there any like nice AI though? Like,
RoboCop's a nice AI, I guess.
I don't.
I don't know about that.
RoboCop's not an AI though.
No.
Okay, true. He's
a
like,
cyborg.
well, I think in the original, he doesn't even have a brain left. I think, right?
No, I think that's like a part of what's left, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember anymore. It's been so long.
I'm pretty sure like he just has his brains is heavily subdued.
I know a nice AI. The Iron Giant. He's a nice AI.
He's a nice robot.
He's a nice robot. Okay, come on, man. He's a robot. He's got like
with AI. Yeah.
AI. Come on, dude. Okay,
I get it. But then we're getting into the.
and then we have a Chappie. Have you guys watched Chappie?
I have not.
I haven't.
I actually really like it. I don't like the two that they casted for like Chappie's surrogate parents. I don't think they're very good actors. But I thought Chappie was a really good movie. It's basically about a guy that he creates true AI, so to speak, and he has to essentially teach the AI as if he were like an infant. He starts from like infancy, like he's not able to speak properly, and of course,
but he's not training on like Twitter and X data.
No, that comes later when he learns from the internet and learns how to make a supercomputer out of like multiple PS4s. That does happen in the movie. And then he creates a consciousness transference like system. No, you should watch it though.
Don't have to watch it. I don't have to watch it now. You just
Come on, dude. There's still a lot. There's a lot more that I haven't talked about, like how Hugh Jackman's in the movie.
I like that as a plot point.
Yeah.
No, it's on my list to watch. I haven't watched it yet though.
Yeah. Any nice AIs? That's a good question. Nice robot characters.
I think you just brought up Data, yeah.
Data.
From Star Trek.
Should we count the Terminator? He's a good guy in the second one. Starting from the second one.
Yeah, you can count the Terminator.
Yeah, the T-800. R2-D2, C-3PO.
Yeah, we're getting androids. Okay. They get depicted as bad guys oftentimes, though. Kind of like how Discord is maybe becoming.
Yes, quite so. Discord. There's a couple of things. First and foremost, Discord has decided it's going to move to being publicly traded, and it's now being helmed by a former Activision executive, Humam Sakini. I don't know what his main accomplishments are.
Well, he worked for Activision from 2012 to 2019, and then he worked for King as the president of King from 2019 to 2022 or something like that.
Oh,
So literally shepherding Call of Duty and World of Warcraft to their graves, in my opinion.
oh,
And also just the most exploitative, like, Candy Crush bullshit on mobile. So
so
a
yes,
lot of great, bright future for Discord here.
yeah. So Discord is going public, and people are already concerned about what that means.
Yeah.
Because what that means is that money is going to be the big effort. Because, I mean, Discord was pretty good for what it was back then. It was a very lightweight program, especially compared to something like Skype back in the day.
Mm.
Yeah, so Discord, let me tell you what. So, what's going to happen, what usually happens in this case is initiatification. Discord makes it super big, it makes a shitload of money. And then the service just gets worse in order to facilitate making even more money, because money is what's the goal at the end of the day. The big question now is if it's going to be massively overvaluated when it opens up and goes public, and then it's going to drop down in price after people find out what it's actually worth, because that happens every time. So I'm not saying you should buy Discord stocks when it goes up and then sell it like immediately afterwards to make a quick buck. But what I am saying is that's certainly something people will do.
I'm here for when it goes. It will probably go up a little bit, and then it'll tank for a little bit, and then go up. I have a feeling that's how it's going to go with Discord.
True.
So I'll buy it on the dip.
Yep. So
If I
so the big concern with going public is that Discord's just going to be a worse product at the end, and people are already searching for an alternative, like something to replace Discord. And Revolt probably is the one. I've seen some misconceptions. People don't think Revolt is open source for some reason. Maybe that was just one stupid guy I saw on Reddit. But
there are concerns about Revolt because it's owned and operated right now by just one company, and there isn't a way to like export your data or like peer it with other like instances. For example, if you join like the main Revolt server, you can't export your data and join one that's run by a different community, and there's no interoperability between them.
So it's not like federated. Yes.
It's not federated, but they have talked about how they're planning on doing that and where they want to go.
Well, talk is cheap. Hopefully they'll get to doing it when they get to doing it. I can't think of very many other ones. There's a Gilded, but that's owned by the Roblox Corporation, and I'd rather not. And speaking of Roblox, Discord is being sued by the state of New Jersey, by the Attorney General to be specific. Unlawful practice that exposes NJ kids to predators and violent and sexual content. So let me be the first to say that Discord doesn't really market itself as a safe place for children. I don't want to bat for Discord, but nowhere in the marketing does it say that it's a safe place for kids. Discord itself only lets you register if you're like 13 and up. But nowhere does it say it's a safe place for kids.
It's a form, it's like with social media. It's just a different type of social media. So until you put rules and laws into it, I don't think Discord. Maybe Discord does have a little bit of they need to be better at determining what servers are more adult or bad, but they already have that in there. You can set up Discord servers to prevent a lot of nefarious things for 13 up kids, teenagers. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what to make. I'm not sure what to make of these claims because it certainly does happen. It's just a reality of the situation. But at the same time, though, what really can Discord do? I mean, do you want them to set up an ID scanning? Because I certainly don't want that. That's here's my thing with it. Companies get hacked all the fucking time. And Discord is no exception. I don't think it's been hacked just yet, but someone will do it. And it's going to happen.
Well, the thing is, they don't have to, if you submit your ID to them, they don't have to store that information. They just have to like verify that you are of age or whatever their criteria is, and then they can delete whatever you send to them.
There's services to do this too, so they don't have to even store it.
I mean, I think like I don't know. I hate the idea of like private companies like verifying IDs. I think that just it seems icky and gross to me, but also like there has to be more accountability for companies like this, like Discord and Facebook and whatever, and the kind of shit that they let people get away with on their platforms. There has to be more accountability. I don't know if scanning IDs is like the right way to do it. I don't know.
Like what I've talked about with playing games online. I want an option to do it if I want to be put into the same realm as other people.
Yeah.
Or like if I have a server that I can require it and use, like I'm fine with that, but I agree. Like I don't want government ID to just get onto Discord. But if I could make it so that my server requires it, so that I'm compliant with certain types of laws or rules or something like that, or to protect yourself from just nefarious people, I wouldn't be against that. To give it an option, but not as a requirement.
And so Discord does have parental controls, but honestly, I don't think they're enough. And I also listen to Linus Tech Tips podcast on this stuff, and I agree with him. He mentioned how he knows a bunch of normal people that don't know what the fuck Discord is. I do too. Most people don't know what it is, and I mean, how can you protect your kids against Discord predators and all of that stuff if you don't even know what the platform is or that it even exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, start being a parent and start looking into things.
Yeah. I mean, that's about the best way to do it.
You're going to have to start, like, maybe there needs to be better resources on this, of like, hey, what's what and what you should be watching for. And honestly, that could be part of what it is. Maybe we need better education into those areas of saying, hey, here's a very strong resource of like all the stuff your kids could be getting into, and here's what you need to know. That would be helpful. But start parenting your kids, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know, man. So here are all the major claims here. First and foremost, Discord's platform is structured to encourage unchecked and unmoderated engagement amongst its users. I don't know about that, dude, because like I've seen piracy servers get taken down for sharing links to like pirated apps and games and stuff.
Right, but piracy affects their bottom line.
True that.
Because they will be sued if they don't moderate that.
True that. Okay. Their other one is that Discord misled users about its safe direct messaging features. So it included a safe DM messaging, yada yada yada. 3 options: keep me safe, my friends are nice, and do not scan. DMs will not be scanned for explicit content. So they claim that these 2 options didn't do anything. And they claim that Discord knew that not all explicit content was being detected and deleted. That's going to be a big one. That's going to be a difficult one to claim because, I don't know. Let's see what else. Discord's design decisions exacerbated the risk of children to the app. By default, Discord only needs users to basically DM someone. All you really need to do is be in the same server. You don't even need to be friends, really. That's like the default behavior of Discord, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the default is because I've messed around with my settings so much. I don't.
And then they can also send friend requests to users. That way things are a little less suspicious if they accept yada yada yada. That's the idea. And you may make multiple accounts to hide activities and circumvent being banned from servers or other repercussions. That's just every platform, though. That's not just Discord. People do this on every single platform.
Yeah. Like, the problem with suing, or like this Discord, this whole Discord thing is that it applies to most social media, and there just needs to be, and there are more laws coming into play on protecting, let's say, kids from them, but I don't know. I'm curious where this will go and what this will, if this will change anything.
And then the final claim is that Discord misrepresented the ideas that kids under the age of 13 are not able to make accounts and are banned from Discord upon discovery. So anyone can just make an account and say they're 13 and up, and Discord doesn't check it. I mean, that's kind of like the principle behind a lot of it. The problem is, how can you possibly... I've actually heard of some systems using AI scanning, where they like scan your face like with a webcam or whatever with AI and determine how old you might actually be, and they'll determine if you're like an adult or something like that. But like, what if you're like a 15-year-old with like a beard? I've seen 15-year-olds with beards. Like my classmates were all like I used to have like high school friends that like had full-grown beards, kind of like you, James.
Then I guess, if they can grow a beard, they're an adult. I don't know.
What the fuck happens there?
Yeah.
13? God, well, you gotta get them off that milk or something. All those.
So they claim that Discord says that they ban people when they find out that someone's actually under 13. Their claim is that Discord doesn't, because, I mean, there's a lot of 13-year-olds out there. They can't possibly ban all of them. Probably.
You can't ban it unless you have a verification system that's attached to IDs.
Yeah.
You just, that's why I'm saying, like, this problem, as much as people don't like to hear this, is probably going to be, you're going to have some type of ID system if you want to go this route of at least securing part of Discord. But doing the whole Discord it just comes down to, what are your kids doing? Like, it's a parent problem, partially.
Yeah, it's almost entirely the parents.
If you don't want it, like, if you don't want to learn what's going on in your kid's life, or what technologies to watch out for, to how to configure maybe your router, then don't have kids. I'm sorry. It is a harsh world sometimes, but you gotta learn.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what to make it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I agree with you guys to a certain point, but I'm really tired of the argument that it all falls on personal responsibility. Where is the responsibility for companies when they make tools that can be so easily exploited that, like, any kind of, like,
right,
homespun kind of verification system can be bypassed by a clever 13-year-old? Like, there needs to be some, these companies are tech companies. There needs to be some kind of accountability for them for violating the laws of allowing, or collecting information about underage kids.
Oh, like, here's the thing. Who's solved this problem? That's my biggest thing. Like, I think this is a trifecta issue. This needs to be solved by the parents,
yes,
the government, and the companies.
Right.
And none of them are working really well together on this. But who has solved this?
I don't think anyone has.
China.
Oh,
who has?
China?
Well,
China or Korea or something. I don't know.
China, of course, has, but they have a mass surveillance system.
Yes. It's
yes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going, so I said China.
You can't say shit in China, man. You can't say shit, otherwise you'll lose all your social credits, dude.
Yeah,
oh shit! I just lost my social credits right now.
You're gonna say Korea, right? South Korea.
I don't know how Discord they handled Discord in South Korea. I know that's how they handle video games, though. Like, some games, you have, like, online games, you have to sign up with your social security number. Or I guess in this case, they're letting you use, like, Korean phone numbers now. I don't know, man. It's a difficult situation, because I do agree it's also partly on the parents, but at the same time, though, I mean, what can parents do when, like, a new chat app pops up? Like, Discord popped up like a decade ago, and most people still don't know what it is. Like, there's a new service popping up every day, and not every parent can be informed of everything. Like,
how old is your kid? If your kid's under 10,
yeah,
you should just don't let them have a phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, they can do stuff. It is it's a two-sided thing. Like, there's phones you can buy for kids that are very limited on what they can do. There are and then, there's laws we can put in place, but then give like these laws could have tools. Like, the government could have some tools to help with verification to integrate into these companies. And then also give the government could give the parents tools of like, here's to watch out for, just, hey, heads up. They don't need to enforce anything. Just give them good educational tools to help.
Yeah, that's a good facet that we never talked about. Education. A lot of like parents don't know a lot about tech. And I mean, back when I was in school, they taught us about how, everything that you say online is going to be online forever and all that stuff. They didn't mean like a literal way, but like in a way that like, someone can use this against you for any reason whatsoever. And I don't know if they teach that in school anymore. I mean, they don't teach kids the like risks of like being online anymore. I feel like tech education is like, well, they certainly did back when I was in school.
For you, back when I was in school, like the typewriter couldn't go on the internet, so.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, back when I was on the internet, they were talking about, they like showed they made like videos about how like there was this one, like they showed like PSA videos about how like you could accidentally meet someone like off of AOL chat or whatever. Like AIM.
I think they still do internet safety stuff. It's just I don't know when they start.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, man.
My 8-year-old wants to be on the internet. Like, he wants to like play games on the internet. He wants to play Roblox, and I'm like, I'm sorry, can't play Roblox. It's a hard no.
Dude, Roblox games suck anyways. He'll learn.
Yeah.
Not to an 8-year-old though. Like, you can't say that to an 8-year-old because he has friends playing it, or there's a lot of things. Like, when you're 8, it's a little different. What
we need is an anti-technology religion, and that way.
Oh my god,
Scientology?
No, I don't want that. I don't think Scientology is that way.
No, that's not Scientology. No.
Scientology is a completely other mess. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a difficult situation because honestly, no industry has solved the issue with like age verification. Like, I don't know if it's even possible.
Well, it's not possible because there's so much money in attracting kids to use your services.
Oh fuck!
I think you're right on that. I think there's like, if they put a hard verification system in, they're going to put it in the guise of like, well, that's violating your privacy. What it really is they're going to lose money. I think you're right, Gardner.
Man, it's a situation that I can't possibly come up with a solution a lot, and I think people that are a lot smarter than me couldn't come with a solution either. So I don't know what the hell.
I think there's a lot of solutions to this, and like there's money, and lobbies, because it should be solved on the governmental level and through laws. To be fair,
if these companies can swiftly and like almost completely deal with the with intellectual property violations, they can do something that's a lot simpler and a lot less complex with verifying age, but they don't, because they can make more money that way,
right,
by not doing it.
The big question though is, do you want to use ID? Do you want to have to register with your ID and everything?
So
I would, depending on what the program was.
I want those systems in place, and I will not engage with anything that uses those systems. Frankly.
Yeah. Like with games, I would do that too, but it depends on the system. I would, but I don't think it should be required for everyone.
I don't know, man. It's a crazy situation. I can't even begin to imagine what it would take to fix this issue besides just Discord becoming unprofitable.
I can imagine a very simple system like that. It uses something like a YubiKey, right? and you go to your town office or your city hall and you say, here's my YubiKey, boop, and then they verify your age there, and then this thing verifies your identity with other services. And it's simple and it's straightforward, and like there's no need for any like bullshit like scanning your ID with your smartphone and sending a picture. Like it's just something that's built in, but it's just built into culture, our society, and it keeps you pseudonymous while also verifying certain criteria that you need to verify. But there's no political will and there's no profit in it for these companies. So
it sounds like an idea that we're like 100 years off from.
Which is sad,
if the internet had been invented 70 years before, or like 50 years before, and it had become popular then, we would have had like driver's licenses, but for the internet.
Dude, that'd be hilarious.
I think that's another one. I think the internet, it's good to have all the information available, and I'm not gonna ever want to put a price on being able to access the internet, because I think it's very good, especially for underprivileged like communities and stuff like that. But there needs to be something for some services to like, you have to have a license almost.
Yeah,
like a physical key. I never thought about that.
Yeah, or what if there was what if anyone could have read-only access to the internet, but if you wanted write privileges, you had to have a license or something. There's lots of like silly, simple solutions that we could explore and work together, but there's no political will to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess a few lawsuits will take them down. And speaking of lawsuits, this tabletop developer or publisher, Stonemaier Games, is suing the Trump administration for the tariffs. So a bunch of these tabletop companies are coming together, and it's a lot more difficult because tabletop games are physical goods. Like, things have to be manufactured for those games to, function. And for example, it's a 145% increase, right, from China. So their example is, for every $10 they spend, there's an additional $14.50 tariff coming out of it. And in their case, it'd come up to about $1.5 million in tariffs alone, which is crazy to me.
Yep.
And so they're going to sue the government. I don't know how successful it's going to be.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
There are, I think, 20 to 30 states suing the federal government, aka like Trump's portion of it. There are, I believe, multiple big companies suing, and then also multiple small companies. So like every one of these that you tack on makes it more. It helps the cause of getting these tariffs gone. So this is good, and it shows in these lawsuits. It shows proof of how people, especially small businesses, which I think are the most important businesses of the country, are getting harmed the most. The more proof there is, the more that it will affect, hopefully, Congress, to where they're like, well, we're going to get fucked in the midterms, so we're going to we're going to stop this, because they could stop this. So it helps. It helps. Every bit helps, and I think people being aware of this helps, because unless you want to be taxed, the biggest tax you've ever had on stuff you've bought in the past, then you don't want tariffs.
I should also mention that tariffs are supposed to go through Congress, but because the president has enacted wartime policies, he can just do it as an emergency or some bullshit like that.
They've given a lot of emergency powers over the years without getting rid of them. And so we're essentially seeing the accumulation of that. Tariffs are not meant to be used in the way they're using it right now. It's been detrimental in the past. Like, we have so much evidence in the past of tariffs destroying political careers, but also like our parts of our economy. It is crazy that we're going back to it.
This is how the Roman Empire began, actually. You guys familiar with the Roman history?
I studied it in high school, but it's been a long time.
So, essentially, what happened was that Julius Caesar was given emergency dictator powers, and this was before dictator became a bad word. So he was given emergency dictator powers because it was in time of war, and then you're supposed to give it up at the end of your great time of need. But guess what he didn't do? Guess what he just did? He declared himself dictator for life. And then he was promptly stabbed by almost everyone in the Congress. I mean, in the council, the Senate. Yes. Not saying. I'm not gonna say anything. On this.
I'm not saying.
But that's basically how the Roman Empire started, and like it began with someone declaring emergency wartime powers and then just not giving it up and just doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
The first galactic empire.
It's a crazy time, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wish them the best of luck, all of the companies suing the administration, because I hate tariffs too.
Oh yeah, like here's the thing: if Trump wants to enact like a more homegrown stuff, what you do is you inject financial aid into those areas you want to grow, like with the CHIPS Act, like with what Biden did. Even though he canceled it, he did the opposite of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to inject federal cash and aid, or you're supposed to. That's a big part of how the federal government can kind of push for domestic productions and stuff like that. You can't have all the stuff that he wants here to be produced overnight. You have to give it years. And so it's very bizarre that we're going this way. And it really does just hurt small businesses that use China and these other companies or countries to produce their product, which is, there is no option here. It's not like you have an option oftentimes.
It makes China look like the good guys.
Yeah.
And we can't even use the human rights argument anymore because of things that have been transpiring. I'm not going to talk about it, but you know what I'm talking about.
What, even like 100 years ago, we were doing experiments on groups that we shouldn't have been doing. We don't have a clean history, but yeah, at the end of the day, we're going to lose our, like, we're going to lose our superpower ship, or whatever you want to say.
Superpower status?
Because, yeah, mine's, yeah. But, yeah, it's going to hurt us. I think this is, like, even if they remove the tariffs, I think this is going to hurt us long term. And so I just really hope
it's all by design, and that's all I'm going to say. It's all designed to hurt us.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
And speaking of lawsuits, IGN Eurogamer, the owner, Ziff Davis, is suing OpenAI for content theft and copyright infringement. Mm-hmm. So the publisher, well, here's all the websites they run. They run IGN, Eurogamer, GamesIndustry.biz, Digital Foundry, Rock Paper Shotgun, VG247, and Hookshot, which operates Nintendo Life, Push Square, Pure Xbox, and Time Extension, is suing OpenAI. And here's what they had to say. They had to say that it intentionally and relentlessly reproduced exact copies and created a derivative of Ziff Davis works, and did so by infringing copyright and diluting its trademarks. Now, here's a little I'm not familiar with the term diluting the trademark. I guess that's what that means. I don't know if I agree with that.
What is it? Read it out for the audio listeners.
Oh, shit, that's right. I gotta do that. All right, so in law, dilution refers to the use of a trademark or trade name in commerce that is sufficiently similar to a famous mark that, by association, it confuses or diminishes the public's perception of the famous mark. Like,
which is funny because a lot of Chinese products do this.
Yeah, let's say, for example, I don't know, let's say, for example, oh, here we go. They have there's a good chart right here. Let's look at Nike. Everyone knows what a Nike is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But have you heard of the brand Nike Pal?
Derivative of harm.
Hold on for a second. Sorry. Let's look at Under Armour. This one right here, Strong Under Armour. That's a brand people know. Similar product, similar trademark. Uncle Martin. Look, they even have a similar similar looking logo.
Yeah.
I think if they just change the logo up a little bit, I don't think it'd be that big a deal. It's just stupid that they.
Well, they're trying to like cause confusion with that one. You know? Like.
Oh, here's another example.
Enjoy cocaine.
Enjoy cocaine. And here's an example of in India. We have Starbucks coffee and Satar Buksh Cafe. That's very egregious. This would not fly in the US.
I don't see any similarities.
Okay. Okay. I see where you're going. I see you. All right, but anyways, back to OpenAI.
I will have to say, if you're fooled by that though, if you go to India and you're like, well, I want that Starbucks, like, I don't know what to say.
I mean, I'd probably go to that Starbucks to see what that's all about. The Satar,
maybe I don't know. I see that with a mustache. I'm very I don't know. I don't know if I trust the coffee.
I don't know.
Continue.
All right, back to OpenAI. So they claim that OpenAI did this knowing that they violated their IP rights and law. Well, that's probably the crux of the argument. They got to figure out if they did so knowingly, because that's the claim. A spokesman for OpenAI said that everything's grounded in fair use, but like, I don't know if that constitutes fair use.
That does not pass the mustard in my book.
There's no, here's the problem with this lawsuit. I don't know if there's any laws that actually will, and I don't even know how this will play out. Like, this could maybe set the precedents for some stuff to then start being put in law, but I don't know if the ruling is going to be in anyone's favor, because it is fair. It like, reading it is fine, but yeah, spitting out exact copies is, I agree with that. Like, if they can get it on that, it's just...
If they can figure out how to make exact copies, then I think it's a pretty solid case.
Well, an exact copy is just a copy. It's not like it's even the AI at that point.
Let's see, they also claim that ChatGPT helps enhance human creativity. Lie. Advanced scientific discovery. Maybe.
I don't disagree with all this. Like, I think it can.
Medical research and enable hundreds of millions of people to improve their daily lives. I don't know if I agree with that.
The thing about the medical research is that, like, if it's going to be for medical research, sorry about the road noise.
All good.
No,
we're all making weird noises today.
The thing about the medical research claim is OpenAI doesn't engage in medical research. They engage in content theft. If it's AI for medical research, that's an actual field of scientific study that goes on at universities and at, like, drug development companies and stuff. OpenAI, as far as I know, OpenAI doesn't do anything besides, like, scraping the web to train their chatbots and image generation stuff. Am I wrong about that, James?
No, they scrape a ton of sources, which is all found on the web. I don't think they do what Meta does, which is actually take books that are copyrighted and do it. I don't know.
That's right. We never talked about this, but Meta torrented a bunch of books, like terabytes of
torrented.
Books. The lawsuits. I mean, the article specifically stated that they used torrents for this to train their AIs. And let me tell you, if a normal person did this, they would have had the book thrown at them. They would have been thrown in jail for like 1,000,000 years. But since the Zuck did it, it's okay.
Well, and as long as there wasn't one Nintendo ROM in there, they're fine. If there would have been one Nintendo ROM in there, the whole company would have gone under and Nintendo would have sued, you know.
Dude, Nintendo owning Facebook would be the funniest thing ever.
I'm not going to lie. I would have enjoyed that timeline. I already don't like Facebook, so I'm down for it.
That's like the one lawsuit that I'd probably root for Nintendo out of spite.
I honestly,
Yeah.
if Nintendo owned Facebook, there'd be a marginal improvement to Facebook.
Wow.
I think you're right.
That's crazy to think about.
That is interesting. When it comes to this chat GPT, I like AI. I use AI, but I don't use it. I try not to use it to replace like every aspect of my life. I just like it to like brainstorm, to help I guess replace my human connection in my life.
Dude.
To talk to something, just to
You
brainstorm
should use
like
it.
ideas and stuff.
You should use it to replace your weak human flesh.
I should. It is weak. I agree with you.
Weak
But
human flesh. It expires in like 100 years, whereas AI will last forever.
hey, don't give me ideas. So one day I'll ask it to do that for me. But I think this is how it needs to go. And with the way our government is, it's just a garbage fire because they need to be creating laws that make sense. What they need to do is we need to understand that AI is going to it needs to be classified as a tool to help us in our jobs. And if it starts replacing any jobs, there needs to be an AI/automation tax on those jobs to then pay for unemployment or universal healthcare or universal income.
Oh, that'd be sick.
This is not my original idea, by the way. This is done by economists and other people that have written books on this. We need laws in place because I like AI and I like these tools that help me get my stuff done. I don't want my job gone because of it, though. And if it is gone, I want to be able to pursue creative or other works to then have to give to like a lot of like humans do really well when we're part of a collective and we're kind of pushing towards together for a common cause. That's why like wars or like the race to the moon kind of thing, those were actually good for humanity as we had a cause. And so when we're like as an individual, if we have a cause, it's good. If not, it can end up bad. And I think we're in that like weird, and I know that's why a lot of people don't like AI, is that we're in this weird
hump we haven't figured out
of what's going to happen.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Like honestly, what you're talking about, James, is an outsourcing tax, and whether it's a tax on outsourcing jobs to like manufacturing jobs to like Southeast Asia, or if it's outsourcing jobs to AI, it like there needs to be a fiscal toll on companies that are trying to like not necessarily directly harm, but they are causing harm to our society. And so by implementing a tax that would make the outsourcing of work, of labor jobs, basically equal to just hiring an American to do the job, that would have a big impact on preventing this kind of like bullshit from happening.
Well, you brought up a good point. Like, a lot of the reason why we're in this mess with tariffs and with our production being so much like I like globalization of stuff, but it needs to be done in a more. It was a very predatory way. We go after third world countries and utilize them to destroy their environments to create stuff cheaper for us. It's very predatory. It's not very good. But we also have other things we're outsourcing that's not so bad now, and it. Like even like a couple of decades ago, like we had up to this point, we have a lot more homeless now, and we have a lot more people just struggling, and it's because of this. And you're right, Gardner. There needs to be, when you remove all these jobs that pay well out of the country, what do you expect? Like, what do you like? I want to know, like, the people that are strong into capitalism, what do you do when these people don't have good paying jobs to be middle class? What do you do?
Yeah,
we die.
That's where we're going towards.
So speaking of which, so you know how they said it's grounded in fair use? So OpenAI does have agreements with other publications. Like, for example, Future Publishing. They do Edge, PC Gamer, Games Radar, Retro Gamer. They have a deal with OpenAI, and OpenAI pays them. for their articles. Now, would you be okay with AI doing this if, say, they paid you a healthy sum?
No.
I would if there were agreements or like there were clauses in there on how it's getting used or how they'll pursue like maybe create a lobby that pursues what I just said of attacks on automation that takes jobs. Like if we can verify that jobs that are getting replaced to then there's a tax on every job that gets replaced. Like I know that they wouldn't do that, but that's what I'd agree to.
Like royalties, like
royalties kind of thing, maybe, but like
that's
kind of what they're doing. I think with this is kind of like a royalty thing, but I don't want like it seems a little bit short term. I'm not going to sell out my kids for short term gains.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the whole idea that they spend a lot of money to license. Well, I don't know if it's licensing. What is the word that we would use in this case?
Could be. It depends on what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing.
They're using it they're using their articles to train. So let's see what it says.
It's probably licensing.
Oh, Tom's Hardware's in here too. Oh shit! I was on a Tom's Hardware article once. Here, let me show you guys. Hardware Steam Deck overclocking. Oh wait, undervolting. Here we go. Here, look. See? I'm right here.
Oh, hey. Nice.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah, it was my OG Steam Deck. I won the Silicon lottery. Minus 50 undervolts on everything.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate it has X attached to it.
Yeah, well, it's whatever, I guess.
I'm kidding. I know. No, I joke. Like in today's world, you have to play by what rules that are available. That's why I'm a little like wishy-washy on this AI thing. Like, I don't know. I think you're going to be fine, Gardner. I think a lot of people are going to be fine, but I think especially a lot of youth, what do when they don't have jobs?
When they don't have jobs, all they know is AI. They don't know how to do basic skills.
That's not fair because I don't think you can do AI properly unless you have skills. That's my opinion on it.
I mean, you can type in a math equation and it just spits it out, and it doesn't even know.
What are you gonna do with that math equation then?
You're gonna write it down and get an
calculator that can do that. I have a calculator I can do math on. That's my point. Is that are you talking about for education?
That is a good point.
I had tools for back then.
We should ask Bill about this. I feel like Bill has probably encountered a few weird AI situations in his time as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it is a big problem.
Yeah, we should ask him about that, like in our own spare time.
Even without that, there are not jobs for them to go into. So, like the tech sector, like programming is, and I don't even I think companies are saying automation or like AI or automation stuff like that. I think they're offshoring. I think they are putting just more work on other engineers. I don't think they're like. Don't get me wrong. I think those engineers are a little bit more productive because of AI tools. I know that from a firsthand experience. But wouldn't you want to just continue building more and more products? Why? Like, what's going on? I don't know. I think they're offshoring is more what the problem is.
Yeah. Well, wasn't there like a story like a couple weeks ago where there was there was a company, I don't remember which company, but they were saying that they were using AI tools and they were basically just using like forced labor in a foreign country.
Yeah. Forced labor, I don't know, but I know that like the joke of AI is that it's in what is it?
Like extremely underpaid people.
Automated Indian or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. That sounds like
that's kind of racist.
Sounds racist. But I'm just saying, like, I apologize.
But yeah, I mean, there wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of cases where people in offices, they just kind of outsource their work to Indians, and they sit in an office, they like pretend like they're working, but really it's an Indian that's doing all the work for them over in India. And they don't get paid nearly as much as like the guy in America does.
We have so many problems, so many things to solve in the world that we could make it so that it's profitable for everyone, and we're just not doing that. I hate this.
Yeah.
A lot of
It's a tool that we could use to really help, and I just don't think we have enough safeguards to make sure that that happens.
maybe in due time, maybe in like 100 years, when like after we exit out of the like human AI war.
Oh no. It's gonna happen in the next 10 years when people are starving to death in America. I mean, technically it's already happening, but we like, just to give a little bit more. I mean, no, this is very political, and I steer this, but like a third of kids will miss in America miss a meal, at least one meal a day, a third.
Oh,
And so people don't understand what's going on in the country, and so I think if people woke up a little bit more, they would understand. And this does tie back into like the technology stuff too, of course. Like,
No,
we
you
needed
said
to
wait. We said wake up, woke up. No, it's woke. Woke.
DEI.
Well,
Woke.
that's the funny thing. People need to understand what woke means. That's pretty much what it is.
I woke up today. Am I woke?
It's
I think we're all woke because we're awake.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Like, if woke like triggers you, I think you need to go and
I think you're just woke.
relax.
I think they're just woke in the
relax,
other direction.
relax. That
asleep.
is,
Yes,
Yeah.
they're sheeple.
they're sheeple.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think this is going to be very important because, you know, some people do have some preconceived notions of IGN, like how IGN is untrustworthy or they suck. And I do find myself agreeing from time to time that IGN is stupid and that they make the wrong choices for some games. For game reviews, I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
But like that's not a reason to like root on like OpenAI's like act of theft. At the very least, and like here's my thing too. I wonder why they didn't offer Ziff Davis like a deal to pay for their content.
Did they
probably
say
did.
they
Or-
did? They probably did.
Oh, well, that's true. Oh shit, that's true. Yeah. Also, OpenAI is in Delaware. They're registered in Delaware. You know, Delaware apparently doesn't have sales tax.
Yeah, everyone's. If you're a big company or even a mid-sized company, you're registered in Delaware. I've almost registered myself there. I just
Wow.
don't care enough right now. Oh yeah,
Damn.
that's a very common business thing.
Yeah, I should move. I should go to Delaware and buy some video game stuff. That'd be sweet.
Okay, you go to Oregon, but that's
Dude,
probably
that's like, yeah, it's a lot further. Like I could drive to Delaware. I could drive to Delaware right now in like a few hours.
okay. To go really okay, if you want a cheat code, everyone, if you want a cheat code and you don't like paying taxes, I don't mind paying taxes, but it's got to go to something. You live at the edge of Washington. I know this is very off topic, and then you go shopping in Oregon. So Washington doesn't have state tax, and then Oregon doesn't have sales tax, and so you get cheat the system as much as possible.
Dude, that's crazy. Dude, that's awesome.
People do it.
Maybe I should do. I bet you those properties are really expensive though. Like where you are proposing them to live, like in the border.
No, they're not. They're just kind of bodunk places, but yeah, people do it.
Oh, Bodunk. That's even better.
I shouldn't say bodunk, but like they're definitely not that expensive.
Okay. All right, I think we've talked a lot about AI, and I think we need to talk about your topic now, handheld market shifting.
I think we've already kind of talked about this a lot, but I just want to put some numbers out there for people. So like with retro, and this relates to more retro handheld industry kind of crisis that's potentially going to happen, which, you know, if it does, it's going to screw these companies over because they're Chinese imports. But yeah, Trump's newly announced tariffs on Chinese imports, which they're not really newly announced anymore, but are hitting retro handheld manufacturers like Bernick, Retroid Hard. So they have paused U.S. shipments altogether, is what it sounds like. We'll see if they resume it, which once again, this stuff's all over the place, so it could change in a couple of weeks. So if you're listening to this like a couple of weeks later, this could be different. But like Retroid is rushing orders because the US government is ending the exemptions which previously protected small shipments under $800 from major tariffs. So the breakdown is going to be previously is 30% tax or $25 flat fee per item. Soon it's going to be 120% tax or $100 per item starting May 2nd. And that is going to go up to 145% tax or $200 per item starting in June 1st.
Yeah.
Meaning a handheld that once cost $100 could now retail for $200.
Yeah,
that's how it relates.
I am curious as to how this is going to affect like content creators like Retro Game Core. I mean, there's no doubt they're probably still going to send him handhelds because like he's the guy. They'll weather it for him, but like it's going to make reviewing these a little more interesting because the prices are going to go up, and not for a whole lot of performance gain, and like it's going to be probably a lot more difficult to evaluate whether or not they're worth it at their new tariff price. And like as you said, they stopped shipment for some of these devices, right? So some of these devices may not even be available in the US, right?
It really depends on how much inventory. So it like I mentioned earlier, like some people might not believe in the tariffs because there's still inventory, and there could be there are some companies, or they could have a stockpile here that's already been like, because it happens on the import on how tariffs. Once it's here and they're selling it and it's inventory, then it's not going to happen. So really comes down to that. We'll see.
Dude, Russ has I didn't see this video. It's a Q&A. He talks about his cookbook author and like how he was a Master Chief. I think we talked about this a little bit when he was on the podcast, like many episodes ago. We should get him back on.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. I need to watch that later. Anyways,
it does sound like people are panic buying them, so those inventories could go out. So if you want to get one at a normal price, and you don't buy it because you just the fear of missing out or the fear that you might want one. If you truly want one of these devices, go get one now. I've already preemptively bought some of the tech I was going to buy this year anyways, because I didn't want to have to need it in the middle of this tariff war. It is going to calm down eventually because we'll collapse. If the worst case scenario, we're going to just collapse this country. But this could affect like hardware repairs. It could affect a bunch of different things that you might not think about beyond even handhelds. And so just be prepared is what I'm going to say, or see where the stuff you want to get is going to be sourced out of, because there are some countries that aren't going to be affected nearly as much as China. So
man, this is gonna suck. And I mean, I think we just I don't know if we talked about it earlier or before the show, but like the Steam Deck 2 will certainly be affected by this, because my hope was that the Steam Deck 2 would stay close to the Steam Deck's MSRP of like it starts at $400, right? But like there's very little chance of that happening, and I'm wondering how that'll. And I mean, thank God the Steam Deck has been established and is like. It's like a household name. People know what the Steam Deck is. Maybe if they don't all own one, but they know what it is, right?
100%. It is definitely become... It's a household name now. I think they're here to stay. As long as they keep making them, I think they're going to be a gold standard of PC gaming hardware.
Yeah, like thank God it was released before the tariffs, because imagine how much worse things would have been if the base Steam Deck was, say... Well, let's do the math right now.
Double the price. Just double the price.
Yeah, double the price.
Because it was made in China.
Yeah, if it was over double actually, but let's say double the price. Yeah. If it was $800 starting, I think it would have been dead on arrival.
I think it would have been too. That was one of the problems. Partially one of the problems of the Steam. What is it? The Steam box? What?
The Steam machines.
The Steam machines.
Steam machine. Yeah. Frick! I got that stupid cell in my mind. The Steam machine was that it was a little too pricey for the performance you got, and so I think 800. I think people still would have bought it. I still would have bought it, but it would not have grown in popularity as much.
Well, the thing with the Steam machines was that there was no one specific Steam machine, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the one that most people think about is like the one from Alienware.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Valve partnered with a bunch of manufacturers from like Dell
Mhm.
all the way down to like Falcon Northwest, which is super. They made a $5,000 Steam machine, or they were going to make one. I don't think they ever made one. But the point I was trying to make is that Valve didn't do any of the manufacturing. The manufacturers did the manufacturing, and as such, they couldn't like subsidize the cost, or I don't think Valve subsidized the cost for them. And
I don't.
more often than not, the Steam machine.
I don't even think that was the problem. The problem, it was a little. The price was part of the problem, but like the performance wasn't there for what you were paying.
There were a lot of issues.
There were three real compounding issues: the pricing, the variation in hardware where there was no target for developers to mess with, and Proton didn't even exist.
Yeah, you had
So
to run
it
like
was-
Linux for it.
Yeah.
Like I remember they promised Linux versions of The Witcher 3 and Street Fighter 5 back in the day. Neither of which ever came out because the Steam machines failed before that could ever happen.
Yeah.
So, would you? And I'm asking also people to like mention in the comments below, but also High Tech and Gardner, would you buy a Steam Deck OLED that is $1,400 to $1,600?
Like the Steam OLED as it is right now?
Yeah.
No.
No.
The fuck?
Would you buy a Steam Deck 2? Well, I mean, if you didn't have a Steam Deck. So let's maybe throw this into the Steam Deck 2. Steam Deck 2 comes out at $600 for the one you want. Would you pay $1,200, let's say? Let's double it.
Oh,
Well,
no.
the question is, what are like the other handhelds on the market selling for? Because if the Steam Deck is the lowest priced one, even after all the tariffs, then that's still going to be the most attractive option.
That does make
But-
sense.
At the same time, I wouldn't pay $1,200 for a desktop PC. Like, I mean,
I mean,
I
you
don't
might
know,
have
man.
to.
I mean, I paid $2,000 for my desktop. I put it together myself, and no, I paid more than that. But still, like, I wouldn't do a pre-built PC for $1,200. I wouldn't do a handheld for $1,200.
It's relative to the market. I agree. Like,
Yeah.
if the Steam Deck 2 starts at like 1,200 or 1,400, whatever, what was it? 1,200?
I just say $1,200.
Yeah, 1,200. And like the ROG Ally X2 was like $2,000. I think the choice is pretty clear.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't be. It'd probably be a little bit more. We'll say that.
What,
It'll probably be
the-
$1,400.
I mean, I think
Because right now it's like what, $700 for an ROG Ally X, isn't it? Or is it $800?
I think. Let me double check the price of the Ally X price.
They're both coming from China. They're both similarly spec'd. They're going to be similarly priced in some ways, like with the ROG Ally X being a little bit more.
Yeah, the Ally X is 800 MSRP. There are sales though, but we're not going to count sales, and chances are sales are probably dead to us now. So
Well, it depends on if the inventory is still over here. There could still be some sales, but yeah, it could be like with tariffs for sure. Like expect a lot of like high moving devices to not go on sale anymore. High moving in the sense of inventory. So here's my thing.
Yeah, close to 2,000 if we go by just the tariff rate for an Ally
If we go
X.
by the tariff rate, then the Steam Deck 2 would be a little more too. But like, let's just say that I would obviously still get the Steam Deck 2. At $1,200, at $1,400, I'd probably get the Steam Deck 2 if I know that they upped the performance well enough. That's my biggest kicker with the Steam Deck right now, is that I can't play all the games I want to play, bar the Proton issue, even though Proton plays 90% of the games I want to play.
Yeah.
If I can play all the games I want on the go with the Steam Deck, with how it is now, like, I would buy the Steam Deck 2. But I think an exception to this.
I think the biggest success with the Steam Deck was because of how cheap it was compared to, say, the Aya Neo. Like, listen, back when the Steam Deck was first announced, we had like Aya Neos and GPDs. GPD was still using Intel, I think, like the really crappy Intel graphics. And Aya Neo
Not for all of their stuff, I don't think.
No, I think it was no. It wasn't even Arc yet. Arc wasn't even available on mobile CPUs just yet.
No, but GBD Win Max 2 was AMD.
Yeah, but that was after the Steam Deck.
Both.
Wasn't
How
it?
much further? Yeah, it was after the Steam Deck, but not much. It was like it came out 6 months after the Steam Deck came out.
But anyways, when the Steam Deck
I had one.
When the Steam Deck was first announced, we had GPDs and Aya Neos, and like the Aya Neo, the first one, used Vega graphics, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And the Aya Neo was like $800, and the Steam Deck was not. The Steam Deck was $400, and so I think that gave people, like, we didn't know, like, I think that gave people a lot more confidence in trying out the Steam Deck to see if it really did fulfill their dreams, because I think there were a lot of skeptics. Like, I was excited for it, but I was also kind of skeptical. Like, there's no way it's running Control at, like, I don't want to say 60, but like a playable frame rate. But no, it really did run out of playable frame rate.
It's between 30 and 40 typically.
Yeah, like it was a very playable frame rate. I will.
It's
say.
a console. It's a console frame rate. So
yeah, like
you got to understand that, like, the handheld, like the Steam Deck is a handheld console for PC gaming essentially.
yeah, like I was like the point was like, and then we saw reports from China, leaked reports about how Cyberpunk was running at 40 FPS. I was like, there's no way that's real. There's no way it's running Cyberpunk at 40 FPS
Without those NPCs. Without those NPCs,
yeah,
man, that's
but
how.
like, yeah, I mean, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. But like, Cyberpunk still had that notoriety of like not running all that well. It still had that stank.
So, high tech. I think we have to close this out.
Right.
Gardner's got to get going, but like, I really am curious what people think about, because I really don't think the Steam Deck 2 is going to cost that much. It's just like, if tariffs did continue, if things continue the way they're going, you could probably increase that price even more, because inflation. What we're having right now is that we're having tariffs, and we still have inflation going on, which is interesting.
It's a tough situation, and it would suck if the Steam Deck 2 were over $1,000. I don't know if Valve is willing to eat so much cost that they keep it at, you know, the original Steam Deck's MSRP. I don't think that's a real realistic solution. I do hope they can like at least keep it down to like $600 in this post tariff world.
We'll see.
The tariffs are going to be gone by then, but like, what damage is it? I'm curious what damage is going to be done because of it.
Yeah.
Because we had okay agreements before. When we lose the tariff war, is China just gonna be like, okay, well, things are going to be more expensive. Like, they're still like, there's still going to be, I think, potential issues from all this.
Yeah, we need China more than they need us. I mean, I can't even think of like what we even export to China besides like grain and stuff.
Money.
We export. We do export stuff, but it definitely is a big deficit on that.
Yeah, and I think that about covers it. I don't think there's any last minute stories that need to be discussed. We had a pretty long episode this time.
Yeah. Good episode.
Yeah, quite so. I know it's kind of a Debbie Downer, but I think we had to talk about some of the important stuff.
It's good to be aware.
Yeah.
And also to like buy your stuff now while you can, and then just weather the storm.
Yeah.
Because it will be over.
That's certainly my plan. Upgrade my computer.
I'm going to find different ways to like utilize what I have and maybe get a couple more things, because I've talked about it. Like, I have a 3090. I just got to find a way that it won't fucking heat my room up to like 100 degrees. Put it outside in the kids' room or something like that. Let it heat them up, and then I'll just remote it.
Do what Linus does. Put all the computers in the basement, and then just use your swimming pool to cool it down.
I could turn the basement into a swimming pool. No, that's the thing. I'm thinking about doing network-based ways of accessing my computer, or doing like I have Ethernet throughout the house. I just can't remember what
No.
standalone
I mean, I think
games,
Linus
but yeah.
uses fiber optics to just wire everything to like his rooms and stuff. But you'd basically have to design a house around that, which he did.
Around fiber optics, and you can pull that stuff through the walls.
Yeah,
It's-
but yeah, that's true. I mean, but he did.
The expensive part is the fiber optics cable.
Yeah, I don't know, but I
That's
think
crazy.
that covers it for this episode. This was episode 27 of Off the Console. You have any closing statements before we
Yes.
leave? Yes, go ahead.
You, the listeners, the viewers, you guys rock.
Yeah.
Love the comments. Love that you guys, especially like helping us with the Apple Music or podcasting was such a big help. I want to just keep on reiterating that. It's really helped our numbers.
Yeah,
And that keep on listening. Let us know what you like. Like, let us know in the comments some of your favorite topics, and we'll start bringing those up more. That's a good.
yeah, or anything,
good way to do this.
anything we can improve as well. That'd be a great help.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's all and we're closing in on 500 subscribers on YouTube, which we're really excited about. And you can subscribe there. You can also follow us on the podcast RSS or Spotify or Apple Music, which we just fixed, or anything else. We're pretty much everywhere. So thank you for your support.
Thank you very much, and I echo
Yes.
everyone's statements as well. It's been great. This has been a great podcast to work on, and it's been great to make. Well, I assume it's entertaining. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to us, right?
Exactly.
All
I'm
right.
hoping it's entertaining.
All right. With that, we'll have to end the podcast. If you like us, be sure to like and subscribe to all of our channels, and also the Off the Console channel. And you can find Off the Console on every other podcasting software, whatever you're listening on right now, probably. But also like Apple Podcasts, I think is the most popular one. It's on Spotify too, though.
Yes.
All right, and with the,
Which greedy corporation do you subscribe to? Let us know.
hopefully my greedy corporation.
Go buy your stuff. Peace out, guys.
Peace out.
See ya.
See ya.